you get hit by a commercial vehicle, let's say you get hit by some kind of truck, delivery truck, what have you, what happens then? Who are you suing?
Sure. So anytime there is an owner that is different from the driver, you get to go through what's called vicarious liability.
Okay.
So the owner of the corporation or a family member, like we said, they're vicariously liable.
Gotcha.
Now, there's a lot of litigation nowadays as to Uber and Lyft, because there's still a lot of technicalities that are not worked out as to whether or not they're drivers or their employees. And therefore, they're trying to make a motion to dismiss all vicarious liability claims. Well, we found a way around that. We're always claiming that besides vicarious liability, there are also independent claims against them, which are negligent hiring, negligent entrustment.
Okay.
For example, I mean, in order to keep them, again, in the lawsuit at the very first stage, allegation is enough. Then we'll go through discovery and find whether or not we find enough meat to support that allegation. But allegation is enough, and it's very important to name them independently outside of vicarious liability, because then once we go through discovery, you know how many times we're able to get those, that complaint log where you're not happy with your driver and you say, oh my God, he was speeding, or he dropped me off in the middle of the street, and then it becomes very relevant. Because
it shows negligence.
Uber as corporation disregarded that, and that what makes them responsible for negligent entrustment.
Very interesting.
For negligent hiring.
So when you get hit, God forbid, by a commercial vehicle, there are many more now avenues for you to get compensated, because, like you said, maybe the person driving was negligent, the company negligent hiring this person, they probably have deep pockets as a big company. So definitely something to consider if you get injured in a car accident involving a commercial vehicle. And same goes for taxis and Uber, same thinking.
Right now, I think just last week, we're talking about New York City, right? I just want to make sure that only applies to New York. I think last week they reached some kind of a settlement agreement.
Okay.
Whereas by the terms of that settlement agreement, Uber now is required to make taxi drivers available in their application. Okay. In other words, when you order an Uber, you may not know it, but a taxi might show up. I didn't see that start happening yet.
I see. Interesting. Okay.
Right. And if that becomes, if at that point, if that taxi becomes part of Uber sharing app, then basically what we just talked about will apply. A regular yellow cab on its own, I'm not going to lie, they have horrible insurance. They have only $100,000 usually provided by American Transit, which will not pay. They will wait until jury selection day to come up with some decent, more or less decent numbers. But we don't care. We'll take them to trial.
So if a prospective client of yours gets injured while being a passenger in a taxi, you would take probably more serious cases where you could get potentially much more compensation. Or would you advise anybody who was in a taxi accident to call you anyway?
Absolutely. Look, there's so many details to consider, and look, the way we're different from run-of-the-mill personal injury firms is that we don't mind litigating. All right, it may take longer, but American Transit does not scare me. We'll go through the whole motion practice. They usually file motion for threshold, motion for summary judgment on liability. That doesn't scare us.
Gregory, that's a great point. We consider every attorney we take on as a participating attorney in juris Q, and I had to actually go to your office, meet your staff, and I was very impressed how vast is your staff in terms of experience and numbers. In other words, you have a whole army working for you. So you're not afraid to go to trial against these big insurance companies because you can handle them and handle them well.
Not only we're not afraid, we like trying cases. It's
Yeah,
just that's
it's
not the point.
important to note that a lot of attorneys don't have litigation.
Of trying cases,
yeah.
but at the end of the day, we work for our client, and
Mm-hmm.
when a substantial offer is presented to the client, and we explain all the risks and benefits, it's up to the client to decide what he's going to do with it.
Right.
And a lot of times, of course, they take the settlement, and
Yeah.
sometimes we go to trial, we get the verdict.
Yep. And you do it well. Gregory. Yeah, sure.
Just one quick issue. Why it's important to discuss everything with a knowledgeable and experienced attorney, because it's not always so clean cut and so black and white, a driver, a corporation. Sometimes there are multiple layers of corporations, again, especially now with this Amazon and their delivery trucks.
Right.
And then they get some other firms that do things for them. And sometimes you have municipality involved, and then it's a whole different ball game. So please do yourself a favor. If you are seriously injured, put everything aside. And once you're done, getting help for your urgent medical problems, consult with an attorney.
Right. And one such attorney, one such firm is a firm of Gregory Spektor and Associates. Gregory, thank you very much for your time. Look, you make it sound easy, but really it is not. There's a lot that's involved in terms of research and analyzing a case. You're really breaking it down for us. I appreciate it. And please stay tuned for more questions and more answers from Gregory Spektor and Associates. Gregory, you want to add something?
Yeah, no, it's just, you said you make it sound so simple is because I don't think there is an equivalent for experience, because most of your hypotheticals that you think are hypotheticals, we've been there, we've done those particular.
I mean, between you and your partners, you have decades of
experience, right? And between all the 10 attorneys that we have working in this firm, I don't want to know, but it's probably hundreds of years of experience.
Very good. Okay, we're going to see you next time. If anybody has any questions, you can call Gregory Spektor Associates directly. The number is the bottom of the screen. The website is also on the bottom of the screen. Or you can post your comments below on this post on social media or YouTube. And we're going to try to get attorneys from Gregory Spektor to address your question and to answer you. Okay, everybody, thank you very much. Until next time.
Take care. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you. Bye-bye.